to be talking about today is one of the questions that was asked us in the time that I subbed in for the Stylist Intensive. So I was in there and there was a lot of great questions that were asked. And this is one of those questions that was asked. And I'm going to put it out there and we're going to dive into it a little bit in these few minutes that we have together to hopefully help you. First of all, the person that asked the question, but then also all stylists who go through this very real description of an emotion when they're helping brides. And I hope this will help you not just this weekend, but your entire life, like everything that you're doing in your life. I hope that these truths that we're going to talk about today, you'll be able to grab hold of and apply in different areas of your life. So the question is this. The question was, how do I basically get myself out of my own way? And what she was saying was, or what the stylist was saying is how brides are shopping is how they would shop, like how she would shop if she were in this situation, to where it's the same fear of missing out on something or needing to shop around or needing to sleep on it. All these, this is a big decision. And so when you're making a big decision like this, those are just like common sense things that, maybe that this stylist was like, I would be doing the same thing. So but what if, and this is what the stylist is asking, first, how do I get myself out of the way? But then secondly, also like, what if this bride meets another stylist who is more able to help her make a decision? And so then she makes a decision elsewhere because that bride was more capable of helping her make a decision. So what to do about those types of things? Like, how do we get ourselves out of the way? How do we get out of our own mind sometimes, get out of our own head and help the bride? I want to say that first of all, I'm glad that you asked this question because it really puts the finger on the pulse of the real issue that a lot of times we as stylists face and that hold us back. And that is that we are stuck in the lane of thinking that we are selling. And that because we are selling, there may be something that we're trying to push the bride into that's not good for the bride. It's really good for us. Like, we want the sale, we need the commission maybe, or we just want to be the one that she buys from. And that can get in our head that that's what we're doing. In fact, we think we're getting training. We're doing Do You Speak Bride training so that we can sell and push brides more. And maybe do it in nice ways, but that we can push brides more. And so when that is in our conscience and in our consciousness and our subconsciousness even, then when we're dealing with the bride, you can approach the bride in ways that are like, well, I'm doing these things because I don't want to appear that I'm pushing you, but I actually am pushing you. And so that knowledge is hard to live with if that's the way you're thinking. I'm pushing the bride and I'm just not willing, maybe you're the stylist and you're standing there going, I'm such a good person and I just love this girl so much already. I spent time with her and I want what's best for her. So how could I ever push her into something that isn't really the best way to make the decision if I were to be fully honest with myself? Because the best way to make the decision, a big decision like this, is to take your time and is to sleep on it. That's how I would be. And it is to like shop around and make sure you've seen all the things. I mean, I totally get it. So how could I ever, I don't want to ever be pushy and push her into something that isn't good for her. This is that realm. This is that lane. And it stems from a root belief. That's why I'm always come back to what you believe will determine where you end up, right? I want to tell you, like, as strongly as I can tell you, stylists, I do not believe that that is what I'm doing. At no point do I believe I'm trying to find the nice ways to push the bride. I absolutely believe it is my job to give the bride all of the culture, atmosphere, information, helpful, empowering truths and perspectives and principles and stories and information and description of an actual picture that's happening in front of me, talking back to her about who she is and what the strengths are that I see in her and the beauty of who she is. And I'm building up a person, and I am simply giving her all the chances in the world to reach out and grab something that would be amazing for her to grab. And I believe it. I believe that in being that person in that bride's life, it empowers more people to reach out and grab what is amazing for them to have. I don't think it is bad ever for what I am helping brides to do. And you've got to have, listen, that this question comes from the heart of somebody who cares about people. You're perfect for this role because you care about people. What you've got to do is change your mindset that you are pushing for a sale. And you've got to change it to, no, I am the person that is most equipped emotionally, mentally, physically, practically, principled, and in the practice and in the experience of what this particular journey is, in the truth of that, I am the most equipped to come alongside and help this bride. So that being said, have you watched the front loading video when we're talking about people who want to sleep on it? Why are we able to make a video to help stylists, help people who say at the end of the appointment, I still have other shops to go to, or I need to sleep on it? It's because it is such a continuous behavior. Where does that behavior come from? It comes from pre-bride country perceptions. Now stick with me. If you're a stylist, and maybe you haven't had this journey yet of finding your own dress, then you actually have not personally stepped into bride country in the same experiential way. You've been working in bride country, but you yourself are not a native yet. And so you still make decisions, big decisions, in the same processes that you've always made big decisions. And that's great. Great. It has served you well. Hold to it. It's wonderful. All brides come in thinking that these are good things to do in this decision because it's how big decisions should be made. It's how you avoid regret. It's how you avoid FOMO. It's how it's to make sure you've slept on it and seen all the things and done all. There's like a formula for other decisions. You've got to understand when they get a ring on their finger and they step in as a native to bride country, it's not just a fake thing we talk about. It's literally a fact. Their paradigm has changed because love, forever love, willful, reciprocated, eternal love is present in their life. That changes you. It changes your power to make decisions, even two big things. And I would say, especially two big things. It heightens your understanding and sensitivity, your heart, your mind, all the things. It changes so many things about you. And sometimes it's for the good. Sometimes it's for like you turn into an amazingly better person. Sometimes it can mess with your head and mess with your heart, and it can be a very confusing time there, for sure. But the majority of the time, the fact is though, love is present. So their decision making is actually different, and it's not scarier. It's actually more able to be courageous. It's not more limited. It's more able to be creative. It's not more fearful. It's more able to say, the sky's the limit. I can go after my dreams and the miracles happen. You're more capable when you become a bride to think in those ways. You're more cognizant that your story is playing out. And you are excited about the fact that things that you maybe feared would never happen are happening, right? So they're entered that this is actually their paradigm. But then they go to find dresses and they think in order to be, wise in this and not be moved by their emotions, that they need to fill in the blank and do all these things and not miss blah, 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 blah. They think that. You think that if you've never been in bride country, and brides who are in bride country think that because they're trying to hold on to things they've done in their life beforehand with big decisions. Why? They don't know, and hear me, they don't know that the truth is finding your dress is very similar to falling in love. You can't predict it. You can't know when it's going to happen. It happens in ways that you least expect it. And your story is very personal to you. And it happens to you. It comes to you, this situation, right? So it's not just you are you strong enough to push them to make a decision when they're not ready? That's not it at all, right? It is, are you courageous enough to believe the truth that it's your job to lay the groundwork open for her to have the freedom to make a decision when it's actually in front of her and when she can make it and when it's good for her to make? Does that make sense? Now, what does that require? Does that require you to show her a lot of great dresses and to give her a lot of good information? And then when she wants to go keep shopping, to stay a good person, definitely you don't want to get in the way because that makes sense to you. So you're going to let her go? No, that's actually not the best thing. The best thing you can do for brides. The best thing you can do is help her understand what the true paradigm is at the front of the appointment, very early on, to start changing her paradigm of understanding what this decision is, to give her the best chance ever that when her perfect dress is staring her in the face and her people are around her and it's different than she expected in beautiful, wonderful ways, and she's lit up and feels amazing, and this moment is in front of her, she can grasp hold of it. And she is not held back by false beliefs of what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to keep going. She's supposed to sleep on it so it's not knee-jerk. She's supposed to what? No, when love happens, it's not going to happen in all the perfect ways that you thought. And many times if people get caught up in, well, it's going to happen this way and at this time, and this is how it's going to be, and da, 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 those people can end up having real issues later. You need to have the faith and the courage and the clear vision to understand the truth of where we're operating and what we're doing. We are helping brides be able to grasp the moment when it happens. Now, let me tell you, stylists, this last thing, I'm going to let you go. You cannot shy away from the opening paragraph of helping to begin to change their paradigm. If you shy away from doing that at the beginning, from front loading at the beginning, from telling them from your heart, and in however this bride, whatever her personality is, say it to her within the scope of her personality. But the paragraph's the same, right? Paragraph's the same. When you say, okay, so what you need to know is this. So trying on gowns, like the only thing similar to it in the whole world is falling in love, like finding the right person. And I don't mean like how, you found your person is the exact way you're going to find your dress. What I'm saying is love happens when we least expect it and in ways that we never expected. And the elements of that in everybody's story are what is so beautiful and amazing. And, I don't even know what happens out there, but I know what happens in here. And love at first sight happens here all the time. Like brides who come here, and it's the only shop they've been to, and they fall in love with their dress. And there's something so cool and amazing about those brides that because their story then is untouched, because like you don't have to look very far to know that not every experience out there is perfect for brides, but so and what's happening out there, but what's happening in here, amazing. And so if you're one of those brides that finds your dress right there and it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect to, and here it is, then your story has the chance of being untouched and like perfect beginning to end. And it's so amazing. And I love that happens, and that you can be one of those brides that has that story that's just it's so great. So anyway, okay, so talk to me about, do you see what I've done? I'm sharing with her a truth and then I'm jumping off of it. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because I so want to do everything in my power to give her the chance to begin changing her understanding so that she is mentally and emotionally ready for when her moment happens with the beautiful dress. And if I don't, Say that at the beginning. I haven't given her the chance that she deserves. I've let her stay in a wrong way of thinking, a wrong way of thinking. I'm not willing to do that, right? Find and understand that the truth of this is what you must believe and hold on to. It isn't, well, you know what? I am one of those stylists that's confident enough that I'll just say anything and I'll help her make this decision at the end because I'm just going to push her into it because I'm a good salesperson. That's not it at all. You out there with the good hearts, the ones who want to make sure that this bride has the best time of her life and you want her to have the best stories ever and you never want to be pushy. You are the right stylist for the job, but you've got to believe the truth. And the truth is you're not there pushing a dress, selling a dress, manipulating people to buy. You are there to understand the truth, believe the truth with your whole mind and your whole heart, live in the truth, and find the right, perfect times to begin walking the bride to the true things, to free her. The truth will set you free. Fear will put you in bondage, right? So we're not going to be afraid. We're going to be courageous enough to clear the ground around the bride with front loading so that she actually has more space to start looking around and thinking and breathing and being in what's actually happening with her. You understand? Then you have a bridge, a reference point to go to when she's at the end of the appointment. You can then describe her moment to her well. What is your job? Create, facilitate, define, and protect life moments. Create them, facilitate them between people and in the bride's mind, facilitate it between her and the dress and her and the people with her. You're going to create it, you're going to facilitate, you're going to define it, you're going to be able to describe it well to her, and you're going to be brave because you're going to protect her life moment and not let her jump back into old ways of thinking that are before when love came into her life and they don't actually apply. You got to know that way of thinking. I have to go to all the shops. I have to see what all's out there. I have to sleep on it is a wrong way of thinking. How do I know that? I've witnessed it 1,000 times. Number one. Number two, it's like finding the right person. Tell me what the formula is for finding the right person. What's the formula? 4 years of college at a certain college? How many guys do you need to date? Or maybe it's you don't date any guys, just one guy that you find. Or maybe it's, well, you date 5 guys at least. Or maybe it's, well, you got to date at least 100. Or maybe it's you got to live with them for a period of time beforehand. Or maybe it's there's no formula. There are principles. There are ways to help someone be their full self, and therefore they make good decisions and move forward, right? But there's no formula. You've got to believe there is not a right formula that she has to do in order to fully know. She has committed to marry someone for the rest of her life. She has said yes to someone, to marriage, without dating everybody under the sun. Without dating every man that ever existed, every person that ever existed, without dating all of them. How many is enough? There is no formula. Know it, believe it, and know that you're the person to help change the shackles that are on her mind of what this needs to be. Open her up, give her the freedom to embrace a moment that surprises her. Do it, stylist, do it. Practice today, that front loading paragraph, all the elements of it, all the elements that are in there for a reason. They are all some of the obstacles that brides are already thinking, and how can we verbalize to them to the strongest ways to get past those obstacles that are wrong to be there, that will stop her when she needs to go. Like when I mean go, I mean she needs to go towards the dress she is in. And these things are going to stop her. I'm going to speak into it in such a way that gives her the freedom and the power and the tools and the knowledge to overcome those obstacles and be free. Freedom It takes a lot of work to help people be free in their own minds, in their own hearts. It takes a lot of work for people to help me to be free in my own mind and my own heart. I saw a video this morning of a Holocaust survivor. And one of the things she said was that her mother said to her, before her mother was taken to the gas chamber, her mother said to her, no one, no one can take what you've put in your own mind. Later, this lady, she survived Auschwitz, which she had a lot of survivor's guilt for. She held back herself in her life in many ways because of that guilt. She ended up becoming a psychiatrist, and she realized as she was trying to help Vietnam veterans, she realized she had stopped her own self in many things. And she said the Hitler wasn't outside of her, it was inside her own mind. She was her own Hitler, limiting and stopping and controlling her own self. And she had to take a journey to get past that and to realize been given a second chance at life and to live it, right? I say that to say many times as stylists, we can be in our own way. Our minds can stop us. Our own thoughts can stop us from doing and being who we're supposed to be. It can happen this way in our lives as well. Our minds can be our own prison. We've got to take those thoughts, take them captive, and get rid of them and release them so that we can grab hold of the truth. Release the thoughts and grab hold of the truth. And the truth is, you're there to help free her. Don't you settle for less because you're scared, because you believe in your mind you're really actually pushing to sell and manipulate. No, no, do not believe that about yourself. That's not what you're doing. Grab hold of the truths and the tools and use them because they are there to free you and to free her. That's what we're doing. And I believe it with my whole heart. Now go out there and work to do it and let this process of being a stylist continuously purify your motives. Let it go through the fire and purify your motives. Get back to how can I help create, facilitate, define, and protect this girl's life moment? How can I help free her better? Why did that stop her? I've got to work to make sure at the beginning I'm giving her the best shot at not being stopped by these obstacles, right? And together, we're going to make an impact with brides. And we see more and more and more brides be stronger in relation to you rather than weaker, be better rather than worse. They're happier. They have fewer regrets. Why? Because you focused on helping them know what the right thing is and putting it out in front of them in such a way that helps her to grab happiness. Happiness comes on the other side of commitment. If she stays in limbo, you've not helped her to be happy. Help her. Help her be free. All right, go get them this Saturday. Thanks for the questions. Keep the questions coming, and let's go and be master stylists, because that being a master stylist, a do you speak bride master stylist, means that you're better equipped to help change the world. And that's awesome. Talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.